Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahmavitvaram Satgurum Brahmavitvaram. Om Shri Chinmaya Satgurave Namaha. 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 Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Satgurum Pranatosmyaham Satgurum Pranatosmyaham. In the last set of verses, the student, in a very poetic way, is presenting his jijnasa. Jijnasa means his desire to learn, and he is referring to the teacher using different adjectives. Brahmananda rasanubhuti kalitaihi putai sushitairyutaihi. Main request was vakyamrutaihi sechaya. Please take away my samsara through the words of scriptures. Then second thing he communicated was, I have come to you as a blank slate. Means I am ready to learn Advaita Vedanta as it is, without mixing any of my own likes and dislikes, colorings. The most fit student of Vedanta, having high sadhana chatushtaya, tells the Guru, Aham na jane. I don't know anything about the path, where am I headed in life, what is my destination, how to reach there. None of it I know. Then the last verse said, to the one who has said this, last verse what we saw in the last class, to the one who has said this, the teacher shall give fearlessness right away, without evaluating the qualifications of the student. Right then and there, he should be made to walk on a brighter path in life. Now the 42nd verse talks about the teacher again. Some more adjectives are given. What should the teacher do if such a student comes? In addition to the loving glance, teaching also has to start. So next verse is talking about the teaching part of it. Vidvan satasma upasatti miyushe mumukshave sadhu yathokta karine prashanta chittaya shamanvitaya tatvopadesham krupayaiva kuryat vidvan satasma upasatti miyushe Mumukshave sadhu yathoktakarine prashanta chittaya shamanvitaya tattvopadesham krupayaiva kuryat. Saha vidwan. Saha vidwan refers to teacher. Because in the next verse, teacher is going to address student as vidwan. But in this verse, the word vidwan goes with teacher. Saha vidwan tasma. Tasma is actually tasmai, becomes tasma. Upasattim iyushe. Upasattim iyushe means the one who has sought surrender. Little bit in between Sanskritam, one word I'll keep giving. If you are inspired, you can find the root word of iyushe. Iyushe. Which one? Igatau, yes. What is the pratipadika? Which shabda becomes iyushe? It's a special word called ivas. Ivas, like Nachiketas becomes Nachiketase. It becomes ivas becomes iyushe. Upasattim iyushe means the one who has gone and sought surrender. Whose adjective is this? Student. Upasattim iyushe. Mumukshave, one who is mumukshu. Sadhu, one who has good qualities. And yathokta karine. Whatever is told to him, obediently he does it. What has been told to him? Right from the first verse. Human birth is rare. Make moksha a priority. Make sure that you take it all the way to the end. Develop sadhana chatushtaya. Everything, whatever has been told, not only he listens, but he works on them. That is the student, yathokta karine. One student is called anukta karine. What is not told, he will do. Another is durukta karine. Whatever is told, exactly opposite he will do. This is a very nice student, yathokta karine, obedient. Means he is not obedient for somebody else's sake. His own mind has become obedient. That is this meaning, yathokta karine. Prashanta chittaya, one whose mind has become calm. Not only calm, but his mind is available. Because sometimes mind is calm, it is not agitated, but it is not available. Sometimes when you do japa, for example, we start the japa, but until the whole mala finishes, you don't know where the mind went. It was not something it was disturbed or agitated, but it was not available. That's why they put that Meru bead. At least 108th time we will wake up. Imagine if no Meru, we would have continuously gone 100, 200 times. Prashanta Chittaya means his mind is available and quiet. Then only teaching of Vedanta can be given. Prashanta Chittaya Shamanvitaya. Shama here refers to sense organs. Because already Prashanta Chittaya is talking about mind. His sense organs are well disciplined. Most important sense organ to be disciplined is tongue. Tongue as Jnanendriya, tongue as Karmendriya, both. As Jnanendriya, disciplining tongue is winning over taste. And as Karmendriya, winning over tongue is mindful speech. If this one sense organ is not under control, next step of Vedanta doesn't work. Bhagavatam it is said, Jite rasam jitam sarvam. One who conquers the tongue conquers everything. In both ways you have to understand. Jnanendriya, karmendriya. Prashanta chittaya, shamanvitaya. Tasmai krupaya tattvopadesham kuryat eva. That Vidwan will give tattvopadesha to such a student out of compassion. And eva is there, means what? Certainly he will give. Tattvopadesham kuryat eva. Who was the student? He was good shishya. Shishya comes from the root word shas. Shas means to govern, to rule. One who is willing to be ruled by scriptures, that person is shishya. So whatever is said in his sadhana panchakam, whatever has been said so far in Vivekachoodamani, implicitly he tries to bring it in his life. That is yatokta karini. To that student, teaching has to be given with compassion. You know, this word krupaya is very wonderful. What is the compassion of Upanishads? One compassion is repetition. Same thing they will tell us in 100 different ways. Shankaracharya said, what is said in thousands of verses I can tell in half quarter. Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya, Jiva is Brahman, not somebody else. So ask somebody to speak on Vedanta. These three topics they cannot speak. They cannot say Brahma Satyam, they cannot say Jagan Mithya, and they cannot say Jiva is one with Brahman. So what else is there to speak? He said, in spite of this being the case, they will still keep on repeating it in different ways. So that at least once it should appeal to us. Repetition is called abhyasa. Abhyasa. Second krupa of Shastra is akhyayika. Akhyayika means metaphors. If you just explain the concept of Jiva and Ishvara, becomes little difficult. But if you say, bird number 1 is Jiva, bird number 2 is Ishvara. First bird looks at the second bird and its samsara goes away. So through akhyayika, teaching is given. Tattvopadesha. That is krupa of Upanishads. Drishtanta, examples are given. All of that is krupa. Another commentator, he writes, the word eva which has come there. The teacher must give tattvopadesha. What it means is, if one person can be free from ignorance, it will benefit several others. Rahim Dashi writes a doha, Ekai sade sabasade. If one person improves, everybody will improve. And he says, in a tree, if you want sweet fruits everywhere, you don't have to go on watering every branch. You water the roots, all the trees, all the fruits will be sweet. Then you will get good fruits if you just keep watering the root. He writes, one Ramakrishna Paramhamsa watered the spiritual quest of one Vivekanandji. One Taponji Maharaj watered the quest of one Puja Gurudev. Tattvopadesham krupaya eva kuryat. Through them, many will benefit. Sometimes you might have the question, if one person in the family is spiritual, does that spirituality help others? Mundaka Upanishad says, if one person becomes spiritual, nobody in that family will remain unspiritual. It's only a matter of time. Today we might not see it, but that mantra says, in that person's kula, nobody will be abrahmavit. Means what? One person becoming mature in the family can keep the whole family together. Tattvopadesham krupaya eva kuryat. Now that doesn't mean we have to send only one representative. If you are going to temple, you say, one person you go, get punya for all of us. He says, even if one person does it, that can benefit everybody else. This we have seen before, right? Nachiketa's story. Who did sadhana? Nachiketa. Who fasted for 3 days? Nachiketa. Who pleased Yamacharya? Nachiketa. What was his first boon? May my father have peaceful mind. So who did sadhana? Nachiketa. Who benefited from that sadhana? His father. So in doing sadhana, we have full control. Nobody is an obstacle. Whether everybody in the family will become spiritual, not in our hands. So here it says, Tattvopadesham krupaya eva kuryat. That person must give this knowledge. You know, the first speech which was given by Lord Buddha, it is called Dharma Chakra Pravartanam. Dharma Chakra Pravartanam means the wheel of dharma has gotten stuck. Now you have to move it back again. He says only a Mahapurusha can do it. So in sadhaka's journey also, our wheel gets stuck many a times, and this upadesha will help us get it back in motion. Next few verses will elaborate this point more. We'll see it when it comes there. Now 43rd verse is talking about the student now. The teacher is addressing the student. Ma bhaishta vidvan stavanastyapayah samsara sindhos taranestyupayah ye naiva yata yatayosya param tameva margam tava nirdishami ma bhaishta vidvan stavanastyapayah samsara sindhos taranestyupayah ye naiva yata yatayosya param tameva margam tava nirdishami. Hey Vidwan. Now who is addressing whom? Teacher is addressing student. And he calls the student, Hey Vidwan. Vidwan means your sharanagati, your desire to walk on the path of moksha, sincere quest to be free from bondage. He says that makes you a Vidwan. It is very interesting. Somebody who is so learned in Sanskrit grammar and everything, Shankaracharya calls him as Modamate. And somebody who said, I don't know anything, Shankaracharya calls him as Vidwan. Means he has understood certain deep facets of life. He has understood what is bondage. Ma bhaishta. It is ma abhishta becomes ma bhaishta. Ma bhaishta means don't worry. Don't be afraid. Don't be too anxious. Tava apayah nasti. Apayah means harm. Tava apayah nasti means no harm is going to come to you. You might feel you are in that forest fire, but no harm is going to come to you. Remember, we had discussed 3 steps of fearlessness in the last class. First one was walking on the path of dharma. Second was bhakti. Third was self-abidance. So this teacher is telling, you are already walking on the path of dharma. You already have bhakti. And you are moving towards self-abidance. So there is nothing to worry, no harm can come to you. Unless the student jumps off the path and goes on his own. He says, if you are walking on this path, you will reach the goal, no harm can come to you. Tava upaya nasti. Samsara sindhoh tarane upaya asti. To cross over this ocean of daily struggles, samsara, there is a method, there is a solution. So one commentator, he writes, there is a difference between samsara and samsari. Samsara means this world which is there. Samsari means worldliness while living in this world. So what will the Guru erase? Will he erase the world for us, or will he erase worldliness? He will erase worldliness. Because remember, the solution is not to send the student to some other place. He says, right now your samsara is too much. You come out from here, I'll take you somewhere else. There you will be free from samsara. This is our Ramakrishna Paramji's example, where he says, if boat is in water, it is the right place for the boat. Boat always on the shore, that is not the reason why the boat is built. Water in the boat is wrong place for water. Water in the boat is wrong place for water. Means what? Whether we have to live in this world or not is not a choice. Whether we have to deal with our daily problems or not is not a choice. Whether we get affected by them or not, whether worldliness comes inside or not, that depends on the sadhana and knowledge. And the teacher is telling here, whatever is bothering you right now, to cross over it, there is a method. Samsara sindhoh tarane upaya asti. It is just like you go to a doctor. If the doctor, you have some weird symptoms, and the doctor says, I'm still figuring out what it is. Your symptoms become more severe. But if the doctor says, no, this is something, I know what is wrong, and we have a medicine also, half of the problem reduces. But what will be your next question? Am I the first person on whom you are trying this? He says, no, this is our daily thing. Many people come with this problem. This has worked for many others. That is what the Guru is telling in the next line. Yena eva yatayah asya param yataha. Yena margena. That path of sadhana of knowledge by which several great Mahatmas have walked and went and gone by. Tam eva margam tava nirdishami. I will not invent a new path. I will just show you that path on which different great people have walked in the past. Notice carefully, the Guru is not taking credit for giving moksha. All he is telling is, the path has been given to us. What I can do is help you walk on that path. Whether you walk or not is up to you. This is where that Dharma Chakra Pravartanam is very insightful. See, Lord Buddha says, this wheel which has gotten stuck, all I am doing is setting that wheel back in motion. I am not creating a new path. How do you set that wheel back in motion? He said there are 4 noble truths. First one is, this whole world is sorrowful. Sarvam dukkham dukkham. Then he said, this sorrow is because of desire. Trishna. And this sorrow which is there, it can be ended. Nirodha. The technique to end it is nirvana. And for nirvana he gives another 10 steps. But he doesn't say, I'm going to start something new. Goswamiji is very upset if somebody says, I'm going to teach something new. Harita bhumi truna sankula, samuji parahi nahi pantha. In monsoon season, when the grass grows, even if there is a well laid out trail, he says it gets covered. Jimi pakhanda badate gupta hoi sadagrantha. He says if everybody comes up with their own path, the traditional path of Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, they will get lost in time. You know what is the implied meaning of this? Tamema vargam tava nirdeshami. Implied meaning is, first we should have faith and conviction in our philosophy. First we should have faith and conviction in our Guru Parampara. Then you can compare with other paths. Many times what happens is, we validate Vedanta through the lens of some other philosophy. We validate our own Guru Parampara statement through the lens of somebody else's statement. I'll give some examples. If Bhagwan Shankaracharya says, this world is dukkham, we say, yeah, maybe. But if we say, Lord Buddha has said, world is dukkham, then we say, yes, Buddhism says it. More contemporary example. If Vedanta says, world is unreal, we say, yes, maybe. But if you hear, science is saying world is unreal, we say, oh, science is also saying, Vedanta must be right. Do you see what is happening here? Where is our faith? Before you compare with other religions, first be clear about what is our religion telling. Before you compare with other paths, be clear about what is your path telling. And having gotten that clarity, respect all paths. Ruchinam vaichitryat rujukutilana patajusham nrunam eko gamyah tomasi payasa marnavaiva. Swami Vivekananda quotes this verse in Parliament of Religion. He said there are many paths which will lead to the same truth. Based on our taste, based on our interest, different paths are given. But that doesn't mean we should keep going from one path to another path. Our path should be one main path. Then you respect all other paths, how they are leading to that goal. That is what this verse is telling us. Tameva margam. It is not a new path. It is a path on which many great people have walked. Now the teacher gives more assurance. Astyupayo mahan kaschit samsara bhayanashanah tena tirtva bhavam bodhim paramanandamapsyasi. Astupayo mahan kaschit samsara bhayanashanah tena tirtva bhavam bodhim paramanandamapsyasi. Samsara bhayanashanaha. To remove the afflictions of our everyday life. Kaschit mahan upaya asti. There is some solution which is certainly going to work. Mahan upaya asti eva. It is there. What will happen with that solution? Tena tirtva bhavam bodhim. With that solution, with that method, having crossed over the ocean of samsara, paramanandam avapsasi. One will attain supremost bliss. We will learn to be cheerful in life. What is that mahan upaya? Is it mentioned in this verse? No. But if Shankaracharya were to ask us, please tell, what is this mahan upaya? What will you tell? What is that solution by which all sorrows will end for good at once? Self-abidance, but more precise. What is the solution? Okay, in medical terms, let us say if there is some foreign particle in the body, you have to do surgery to remove it. In spiritual terms, what is the surgery we have to do? Remove ignorance. Avidya removal is the main procedure. Avidya about what? Avidya about our infinite nature. But every procedure has prerequisites, right? Vital parameters stabilized. What are the vital parameters in this avidya surgery? Sadhana chatushtaya. Wonderful. Sadhana chatushtaya should be healthy. Then only you can do the next step. But while doing the surgery, it's painful. So you need some anesthesia. What is the anesthesia in spiritual terms? Withdrawal from sense objects. If mind is too extroverted, nothing of Vedanta can work. This is why so much importance is given to solitude, at least for some time in a day. You can call it me time, you can call it self-realization time, self-abidance time, avidya removal time. But it has to be exclusive. And after surgery, rehab. That is jnana nishtha part. Means protect this knowledge, don't allow it to, don't squander it away for some material thing. This knowledge that we are infinite truth, don't give it away for some material benefit for the ego, some title of the ego. That is the mahan upaya, removal of ignorance. But the last quarter is also wonderful. What does the teacher say? Paramanandam avapsasi. Until now he said, dukkhanasha bhavati, dukkhanasha bhavati. He says, don't think only sorrow will end. Along with sorrow ending, one will learn how to be cheerful and happy. Otherwise, what is the point, You have the highest knowledge, but along with that, there is sorrow also. See, sometimes we have this thought, right? How can we spread Vedanta more? He says we can spread Vedanta more by just living Vedanta. And one of the most important aspects of living Vedanta is being cheerful. Just think of this. If you go to a doctor with cough and cold, severe, and your doctor is also coughing, somehow he sits. Now, whatever medicine he writes, you'll think twice before taking. Or you go to the gym and you find your instructor out of shape. Which never happens, by the way. Huh? They find the right people for that. But do you see the difference? They don't have to promote good health. If you see the benefit, people will be inspired. What is Vedanta's way of becoming ambassadors? Say, just try to walk on this path and live this knowledge. Some meeting is there at work, everything is fired up, and you are the only one who is unaffected, nice and calm. What will others think? How come you are able to stay like this? Then you tell them, I study Vivekachoodamani. That is a better publicity than telling how great Vivekachoodamani is. One Swamiji, he would say, we have to publicize Bal Vihar. But you know what is a better publicity? Whenever you have social gatherings at home, call everybody and then say, before we start, we will chant some stotram, some shloka. And ask the child to chant. And after that, just leave it. What will be the curiosity? Hey, where did you learn? Bal Vihar. So that result is a better ambassador than anything else. Other things are important, but here Shankaracharya is telling us the first sign of religious life is cheerfulness. Swami Vivekananda's statement. First sign of spiritual life is cheerfulness, and the end goal is also cheerfulness. First cheerfulness was at the level of mind. He was able to be cheerful. You will find many people who are not spiritual, but they are cheerful. So not necessary that the first step is coming because of spiritual knowledge. But here, Paramanandam avapsasi, because he has discovered the nature of bliss. In the light of that knowledge, he is able to be cheerful. That the one because of whom I was getting worried is really not me. Who was that one? Ahankara. False I was taken to be real I. Mahan upaya is this only. There is no other magical upaya. He says, ending false identification is the way towards Paramananda. That is the beauty. The next verse is one of Puja Guruji's favorite verse. I've heard him quote so many times. Imagine in 545 plus verses, if he's quoting one or two verses, then it's really important. Vedantartha vicārena jayate jnanamuttamam tenātyantika samsāra dukkhanāśo bhavatyanu. Vedantartha vicārena jayate jnanamuttamam tenātyantika samsāra dukkhanāśo bhavatyanu. Vedanta artha vicārena. By contemplating, reflecting upon the meaning of Vedanta. What is the meaning of Vedanta? Meaning of Mahāvākya. What is Mahāvākya telling us? Tat tvam asi. There is no difference between you and God. And this statement has to be understood in this way only. Let it unsettle the mind a little bit. What is that statement saying? You are God. If it unsettles the mind, what is the reason? In I am including conditionings. When I say I think this body, this mind, this person who is called as I. How can that be God? He said this is where we need Vichāra. Reflect on the meaning of Mahāvākya. I refers to pure consciousness and essential nature of God is the same consciousness. With total conditioning, that consciousness gets the title God. With individual conditioning, consciousness gets the title Jiva. So as consciousness, Jiva is Ishvara. With conditioning, Jiva is Dasa of Ishvara. Nothing else. No matter how much upasana he does, he can never become Ishvara. See, Ishvara can create creation. No Jiva can become Ishvara and do what Ishvara does. But when it is said, you are Ishvara, it is minus conditionings. This, when a person reflects upon very sincerely, with lot of sadhana chatushtaya, what happens? Uttamam jnanam jayate. Supreme knowledge manifests in that person's intellect. What is this knowledge about? Not about worldly things. This knowledge is about who am I? What is my true nature? That knowledge manifests in that person's heart. What happens with that knowledge? Tena jnanena atyantika samsara dukkha shoka nashaha bhavati. With that knowledge, cessation of all sorrows and worldliness, samsara. That knowledge is powerful enough to remove all of that. Do you notice another word, anu, over there? Bhavatyanu. Anu means follows. Chandrasekhara Bharati Swamiji, he writes, if avidya is removed and we come to abide in this self, no other sorrow can follow in our life. That anu word is for that. If the root cause of sorrow is removed as avidya, one is able to abide in the self, then there is no other sorrow which can enter. But the key word in this verse is Vichāra. What it says is, if somebody does continuous Shravanam, one Upanishad after another, can he guarantee that his sorrows will end? Not necessary. Shravanam is the first step. Along with that, he should be able to do Vichāra. If somebody goes on chanting Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, can that alone remove sorrow? Be confident. What is the cause of sorrow? Avidya. He says chanting by itself will not remove avidya. So Shravana will not remove alone. Pathana will also not remove. What about Pathanam? Pathanam means go on teaching. One Upanishad after another Upanishad. Can it guarantee it will remove my sorrow? Unless one has reflected on it. Unless one has contemplated on it, Shankaracharya says it will not remove our sorrow. Means whatever we have heard we should stay with it. And whatever we stay with it, we should try to become one with it. Undigested food doesn't nourish the body. Undigested wisdom doesn't help the mind. Undigested food is a burden on the body. Undigested wisdom also is a burden on the mind. What this verse is telling is, let us try to bridge the gap. What we have heard and what the mind does. One very good way of doing Vichāra is to do loud mananam. Whatever Vedanta topics we have heard, take one topic and loudly talk to yourself. Just make sure nobody is around. Who is the guru there? The intellect which has all tall ideas. Who is the shishya? The mind which is not convinced yet. So Vichāra means my mind and intellect should be in sync. Intellect can give elaborate description of how Jagat is mithya. Elaborate description of how Jagat is satyam. But mind interacts in the world, how Brahma is satyam, how Jagat is mithya, Brahma is satyam. But mind interacts in the world as though Jagat is satyam. And it keeps searching for Brahma. So showing the mind whatever is the conviction of the intellect, what is being shown by the scriptures, that is called as Vichāra. This topic comes in several Upanishads also. In Amruta Bindu Upanishad, the example of Arani is given. In Vedic times, when they would light the fire, you cannot use matchbox. You have two cups, you rub it against each other, lot of friction. You take a cotton piece, capture that fire, use that fire to light the Yajna Kunda. So that spark is called Uttamam Jnanam. And the Arani on the top is Tvampada, Arani below is Tatpada. And churning them is Mahāvākya Vichāra. So this verse is pointing at Vichāra. Think about this truth again. Uttamam Jnanam Jayate. Okay, we'll pause here. If there are any questions, thoughts, you can share. Please come to the microphone. No, Upadhi is still coming.
So, is avidya because of some karma that the jiva did, or is it there for not reason based on what the jiva did?
Avidya is only there because we have not inquired. Every karma is because of avidya. Because we don't know our essential nature is bliss, we get this desire that I need to search for joy outside. Whatever I do for searching joy is called as karma.
But not inquiring is also because of avidya, right?
Sorry?
Not inquiring is also because of avidya.
Correct. Not inquiring means not trying to remove avidya. That is why Bhagavan says, Daivi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya. Very difficult to cross over this Maya because it doesn't allow us to inquire. Vichāram na sahateya. It is something which doesn't sustain inquiry.
Okay, thank you.
Saddarshanam, what was that line? Pishachavad dhavati eshaha. Ramana Maharshi said, when you inquire into avidya and the falsity of ego, the ego runs like a ghost. Patet ahanta paribhugna shirsha. How that Ravana falls, like that it falls. But only thing is, it doesn't allow us to inquire. But mamevai prapadyante, those who hold on to Lord's feet, those who start becoming devotees, they will start inquiring. Yes.
Can you redefine sadhana chatushtaya and self-abidance?
Sadhana chatushtaya was the conditioning of the mind, which is needed for gaining knowledge of the self. Right? So the first one was Viveka. Means I should know that there is something called as self and another not self. Then only I will start seeking it. Then towards the not self, having dispassion, Shamadhi Shat Sampatti, all of that was included. So that is the means. And self-abidance is ending erroneous notions about ourselves. This morning in Bhagavad Gita class we were seeing that, right? When I say I, where does my I land? If I say, I was born, I will grow old, I will perish, it says all of that are different statements of ignorance. Why is it? Where is my abidance when I say these statements? I am born, I will die, I will grow old. Body abidance. Somebody praises our idea, we feel they are praising us. Somebody puts down our idea, we feel they are putting us down. Where is that abidance? Mind abidance, intellect abidance. Self-abidance means what? Whenever we say I, that I refers to consciousness. What is indicator of consciousness is given in Upanishads. Vivekachoodamani elaborately will describe it. What is Atma Lakshana? Means it is like showing the address and actually going to that address. Indicators of Brahman is the address of Brahman. Self-abidance is going to where Brahman is being pointed out. Owning it up as our nature. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om